Hello, this is Brother Benson Media, and today we are hosting one Sam Chakagwena. And I'm your host Kevin Makobura, and with my co-host Meguda Ella. So before we start, allow me to take this opportunity to welcome our guest Sam Chakagwena and my co-host. I'll give Sam a chance to do an introduction, tell us who he is and what he does. The topic of today would be one based on business and technology. So, Sam, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to the Benson Media, and please tell us who you are and what you do.
Asante sana Brother Benson Media for giving me this opportunity to showcase my prowess in matters business and technology. I'm Sam Otieno Olela. They call me Sam Jakangwena. I work with the Kenya Defence Forces, MOD, Department of Defense. Also, I am a student at the University of Mount Kenya. I do international relations and diplomacy. I'm also a holder of diploma in political science and public administration. So I've been in this space for long. I've been fed through business. I grew up through business, and business has been feeding me. So I think it is the right time for youths to take up the bull by its horn so that they can showcase their their vast experience in these fields, not leaving agriculture behind, because agriculture is also part of business. Thank you.
Very well, thank you, Brother Sam. Let me give opportunity to Mr. Megoda to tell us one or two. Yes, Mr. Megoda, it's your turn.
Okay, my name is Bem. Bem, that is my full name. So, first of all, I'd like to appreciate my co-host, Mark Obura, for this wonderful invitation at this hour to discuss matters business and technology. Uh, my guest, or our guest today, is also a good friend of mine, a close ally, and a loyal soldier, and a future partner. So, Sam Gangwena, karibu sana.
Thank you
Asante.
so much. Thank you so much. Straight to the topic of today. The topic of today is about business and technology. First, Mr. Sam, can you please tell us the kind of business that you're doing and the
Okay.
challenges you've been going or facing in your business?
We registered a company called Time Towers uh, Limited, and this business was registered in the year 2023 August, and that was on the month of April, and it started operating on May 15th. Then uh, during that time we had strikes, and the business was a bit down, but we kept trying and pushing. So I can tell the youths that it is possible. Besides that business, I also deal with the car dealership. I'm also in car dealership. I'm also in agriculture, and I'm also public relations expert, PR. We deal with communication. We write speeches, we brand, among other things. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you kindly tell us the journey of starting a business and being that you're also a youth? Can you tell us whether you got some funding from the government or it was just from your pocket and how the journey has been like? as a youth, finding resources of starting a business is not anything easy. And
Yes.
again, the government has been saying that there are some money which were allocated for the youths, and those monies would help them start new businesses. Could it be that you this is the money that you use to start the business, or where did you get the money? And
No, brother.
any youth who is maybe any youth who wants to maybe start a business, can you please advise them how they can get the funding or the money to start the business? Because I can see
Okay.
from your statement, you are a young man who is doing very well in business field.
I'm not doing well, my brother. It is just a matter of trying. So, I want to tell you that when we started Time Towers, I've been having a dream of this. My brother Elon can tell you, he once sat with him and I told him that I wanted to register a construction company. That is back in 2021. But due to some challenges, actually, I went up to the office, registrar office, but just a phone call from a friend disturbed the intention, and I stopped doing that, and I did register that business. So when we were starting Times Towers, uh, I got some savings from my own. I got funds from my own savings, and it wasn't much. Registering a company takes around 10,000 to 12,000 shillings. After you got that money, you can own the company, yet you don't have stock. But if you get the particulars of the company to the financial bodies, they can lend you the money, or right now in our business, we can get supply from various suppliers, and we can pay them after some duration. So you can get this fund from debtors, the creditors, I mean, they can give you money so that they can give you stock actually so that you can start a business. And registering a business is something that people fear, but it's something that is very safe. It gives you vast environment where uh, you can get your clients, because many clients, for example, if you get tenders, they will require the particulars of the company, I mean the company credentials. So if you don't have those things, you might find it hard on you. Another thing, as a youth, you cannot start alone. You have to incorporate others so that you team up together and you go as a team. That is the way to go. That is how you can succeed. In our business, we are three partners. That is Time Towers. We have three partners, and we are relatively doing well. But the challenges are there because just some weeks ago, some men broke into our shop and almost took everything. And right now, we are running an empty shop. But with God's grace and positivity, we are vibrant young men who want to see change. We will go and go far. Thank you.
Well, all right. Okay, thank you. Good. What's your take? What would you like to add?
Actually, I would like just to state that I'm very glad today because I'm hosting Jakangwena. That's how I used to call him. Because this is why I'm very glad, I'm very happy. Actually, this business of Jakangwena, it was my conceptualized idea. It is me who conceptualized the idea, and
I remember.
is aware. And one thing I like with this young youth, he's youthful by the way, he's younger than me. That he consults before he start anything. So we started our friendship a long time ago, and it done that I'm an expert in legal issues. So consulted me, and the idea, I conceptualized the idea, and I'm very much happy to see the progress. So I understand that there are some challenges also is undergoing, maybe like theft. Those are normally business. So my good friend, I'm fully behind you. I got your back. Go on, and also to many more youths and viewers should also start business. Even me personally, I'm also a businessman despite my career. So other than the career you are doing, also should venture into business, because business also, like in the case of Sam Jakangwena, if at all he can rely on the career as a KDF officer, he cannot manage the responsibilities he's having. So he must venture into other things. I think that's my head up, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Sam, as a
Yes,
youth, you as
yes,
a youth, and I've also learned that you're a public servant. How do you
yes,
manage being a KDF officer and at the same time running a business and
yes,
being the people in this public sector? Sometimes they take finding time. It's very hard for them to find time so that they can concentrate on other things. And it is also viewed
ve-
that
that's
most
very
of their
true, my
time is
brother.
serving the public. How do you manage being in the public and at the same time running business, and at the same time you are a student at the University of Mount Kenya University, and at the same time you have several diplomas. Congratulations for that. How do you manage
Asante,
your time and your
asante
life?
sana, asante sana. So, my brother, I'm a go-getter. That's how I do call myself, because I didn't start this here. I started this a long time ago. When I was in class six, I was already running a very successful business, but it collapsed. It was a small kiosk. It collapsed. And maybe to tell you, when I finished my Form 4, I joined KCA University, but I dropped out because of school fee. Then I later joined KC University, where I completed. So, on matters business, let's leave academic matters aside. Business, anything that I will tell every young man that is aspiring to be a CEO or a director in his or her company, I will tell you that there is something called decision making. Decision making is the test of intelligence. A person wrote and said, I don't remember the name, that we shall pass this way but once. So if you don't do it today, tomorrow the time will not be there. Because if we keep on procrastinating, because procrastinating is the mother of all unfulfilled dreams. So, on matters of decision making, one, I will tell you that don't see that someone is exploring well in business and you want to start that business without background information. In this business, we started it without background information, being that despite our one partner is an electrician, but me personally, I didn't have any information. I later regretted. See this, if I were to take that money to something like a valuable asset like land or a car, so I take that money to land. I plant trees around, maybe I get an acre, then I plant around 200 trees. These 200 trees within a short period, let's give it 7 to 8 years. 7 to 8 years, that tree will be selling at around 3,000 to 5,000. So 3,000, let's use the average. Let's take 4,000 by 200. That you'll be having a great amount of money, and that one you can just be easily a step ahead of being a millionaire. So you see these things, it's about decision making. In the other hand, you come this side, you start this business, and then it doesn't thrive well. You start winning, like now I'm winning, I'm whining or winning, whichever. In Alia, I mean, because there are challenges here and there. You can't close it down. You have to keep it running. At times, you go deep into your pocket. Then, on the other hand, if you need a cash flow, maybe today you need some cash, tomorrow you need some cash. You don't need to invest in land. You need to invest in a business that will keep you receiving more cash than giving. So these ones are called decision making. You can also do dairy farming. It is not a matter of business. It's not a must that you must own a shop so that you have a business. A dairy farming, if you get a good breed, you can be milking, and in the process, you can get your money. So, for me, I was considering a dairy farming and this electrical business. So, why I started this company is because I have a friend of mine who is an engineer by profession. So, I saw a loophole in his industry, because being a friend, I thought that he would consistently elevate us to grow together with him. But unfortunately, I opened the business. Now we are like a year old. He has never stepped in for us. Mm, So this is a setback to us. But for the grace of God, we keep growing. So every youth that there, look at your career, because business needs time. It needs time, it needs attention, and it needs a resource flow. Hmm? You
Yes,
you
on that,
accumulate
Mr.
resources.
Sam,
Yes,
on that, Mr. Sam, for one to
yes,
start a business, there are so many things that
yes,
are required.
yes,
Apart from capital, there's
yes.
knowledge of business and the knowledge of the field or the knowledge of
Mm-hmm,
the market that you have to know.
mm-hmm,
When
mm-hmm,
you guys were starting this business, uh,
mm-hmm,
did you where did you get the information that this was the right business for you guys? And when then you are now deciding that you are going to put it in a to open it in a specific place, what kind of things did you guys look for? Uh,
okay.
the environment.
Um,
Did you say that there was a competitive company or there was lack of a competitive company? And what really motivated you guys to decide that you're going to to open it in a specific place? And where did you
mhm.
guys get the knowledge that the specific industry that you guys wanted to open was the right one? Why didn't you not to go for maybe a bakery company? Why did you decide for that to go for that specific?
Now that is why I'm talking of decision making, my brother. So decision making entails a lot. One, bakery, for instance, if I were to go for bakery entails perishable goods. How about if I don't sell all of them today? The whole lot that we manufacture today are in the store because the customers didn't come for them. You get? So you will be running a loss. And this one, electrical, these things are there. They can even help you in future. They are non-perishable. That one we were also looking. And there is, in business, there is something called connection. Connection, I tried to touch about connection with my friend. I don't know if he has joined the live, but it's okay. Uh, the engineer I'm talking about, because that could easily provide an easy market, right? So it depends with your area of interest. For example, now we deal with PR, public relations. We write speeches. We design websites. we make a lot of things which are media related. So you get that
So
your network.
all these things that you do in one or another way, you are
Mhm.
trying to combine the knowledge that you have in PR, the knowledge you have in internet or security and
Yes,
social media to kind of promote your business.
yes. It's about
Okay.
a whole lot of network.
Okay. On that same statement, I want to ask you a specific question.
Mhm.
What is the role of what's the role of technology, the role of social media, the role of let's say internet in business, and how does it really have a positive? Are there more advantages or disadvantages when it comes to technology and business? Because
Okay.
in one or another way, there are people who believes or who are using internet and social media to expand their market base. And there's
Mhm.
so many people who have made it in life. They are successful business people by
Mhm.
just marketing their products and selling them online. Have you guys looked into this? And what are your plans? Are you incorporating technology in expanding your business?
My brother, technology we have been incorporating from the very first day we started this business. Let me tell you, in social media, I've been mentored by a lady called Mudoni Njakwe. This Mudoni Njakwe, I've never met the lady, but we have been very close friends. She gives me her goods, and I pay. I at times I even pay before delivery, but finally I'll receive my portion. So this lady, there was a time that I said, Mudhoni, nisaidie namba yako. So we were chatting until hadi tukafika place tunapigiana simu, tunajuliana hali. So this day that I was about to start this company, I told Mudhoni, and Mudhoni told me one thing, Sam, biashara ni kujaribu. And that is what I stuck with to help me grow. So in social media, you will give your brand. Social media will help you improve your brand because there are variety of brands, but everybody has to compete for his or her space. You give the best version of your brand. So this helps people to to give out the best, yani to invest more. You see the way our parents invest on human capital. That is the very way that a business owner who wants to use social media, because media is a collection where you will get variety of goods and services that you wish to have at a lower or fairly price. So this is the reason that this is the driving engine that makes people or business owners to give the best online. So in internet, you can also talk about network. Internet can make my services go as far as Dali, India, because if I post what I am doing or my field, someone in India, someone in Mumbai, someone in US will see who is this Sam Jakangwena. And this brand, who is, for example, if I use Time Towers, who is the CEO of Time Towers? When was it started? You see something like that. Because of internet, you get to be knowledged accordingly. So internet also offers, through internet, you will know what your clients need. You will know the additional resources you need to apply so that you can input more effort on your business. Yes.
Mr. Miguda, this question goes to you. So many business people have been complaining of being exploited in internet, maybe using this technology, especially the buyers, the people who buy products. Sometimes they meet people in social media or internet. These people who claims that they're selling, they sometimes sell them things which are not there. You end up paying for something that does not even exist. What does the law really, the Constitution of Kenya protects these people in any way? And what can they do? Suppose someone has conned them in the internet. Is there anything in the Constitution where the rights are also preserved and maybe talked about? Where can
Okay,
they go once they face such kind of things?
okay. I think the question you are asking is more of the contract, because if, for instance, Jakangwena places an offer that is selling property X, whereas me, I claim that I want to purchase that property X. The moment I have accepted Jakangwena's offer, we have get into a contractual agreement, that we have signed an agreement that we are in a contract. So before I accept the offer, there are some maybe branding of the offer which I might not like or I might like. It depends on the offer descriptions. So after it has been delivered to me, and I found out that maybe there was misrepresentation, or maybe it was not accordance with the whatever I read. I think there is a clear way of solving the dispute, because these are two-party dispute whereby I have paid for the property, maybe there was consideration. So I think there are just elements of contract, things to do
Mr.
with
Miguel,
offer.
my
Yeah.
question, I think you didn't get it clearly. I was saying,
Mm.
in a situation where maybe, for example, I meet someone on social media, and then they tell me they're selling, let's say, a phone, and then they tell me that I have to pay uh, before the delivery, and then I pay, but then after paying, they simply disappear. Is there, once I report that maybe to the police officers, is there any assurance that I might get help?
Okay, so you are more of asking a question of maybe con man or con women stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever I know, that once you are con and there is that evidence that you can prove that indeed it is Jakangwena who has conned me, I think there is a right procedure whereby the the police will do investigation to find out whether you are con or not, and the case will be before the competent court, so that you can be compensated depending on what you are con. But the law is always there. There is purpose of law, whereby if in case there is any wrong done to you by a human being or any other person, there's action that can be taken against that person in accordance with the laws of the land. So it depends on which case basis or that can occur. Maybe it was a crime scene, or maybe it's a property, like that one you're talking about, the property. You have a right to own a property as an individual, or in the case of Kenyan system, each and every person have a right to own a property, either private or public property. So whenever I discover that I've been infringed, my right has been infringed of the process of getting the property, there is a clear way, even of buying something, that a buyer and seller relationship. So if in case you are getting it wrongly, or you have been misrepresented, of misrepresentation of the fact that the items has been misrepresented, there's a clear way you can access justice. But again, conning is all over. You must be keen. People do con other people, but I don't see a scenario whereby if you are con, you don't process and investigate the person to the latter. So I'll just try to tell you that there is a procedure whereby there is that rule for buying and selling, and if it is followed in accordance with the provisions in maybe commercial law, I think we cannot end up with the like, for example,
Yes.
Sam Jakangwena has been
Yes.
crop has been stolen. The Sam Jakangwena has made some thief. He has lost the property. So there must be some investigation because he was not there. He did not saw those people. So I think the explanation of the process, due process of the law, is very clear. That's my take.
Mr. Sam, so
Yes.
many youths, not just youth, people have been conned in social media and also in
Mm.
internet, in even some websites by
Mm-hmm.
people pretend to be selling genuine things, but then later on, it turns out to be a conning that was well calculated.
Mm-hmm.
You clearly said that one of the people who motivated you in this business that you guys started is someone you met in social media. So, to what extent should we then come to start believing or trusting the people we meet in social media?
Okay.
Because so many people have been conned, so many people have pretended to be good people in social media, but once you give them, you trust them, the majority or most of them have messed so many businesses and so many people have gone broke, uh, especially by such kind of things. So my question to you is: have you ever been conned in, in these platforms, and how do you come to trust someone until they start delivering things to you, until even without paying for before paying?
Okay. Thank you, Brother Bura. You see, there is something called I'm also aspiring to be a private investigator. You don't trust this person instantly. You just try to follow. For example, this Madam Juake, she at times appeared in standard group. Uh, I think ni every Saturday or Sunday, one of those days, anakuanga pale kwa standard group media, kwa hiyo column yake anakuanga nayo. So this is a person who is who has a public image and yeah, who has a public image and ana protect integrity yake, hawezi kubali vitu kama hizo zimfanyikie. But should that occur to any youth, you just alert the reliable authorities so that immediate action can be taken, so that investigation can commence and you can get some assistance. Another thing, there is something called data privacy. Data privacy is very important. It is very, very crucial in dealing with business, when dealing with business. So when you have when you protect your data, you protect your number. Nowadays, there are very, very many links that are all over the country. You get these links, you get you easily you be gullible and you easily lured towards that direction. Then you find yourself losing focus and you in the process you lose a lot of things. It one day happened to a friend of mine. It was very unfortunate, but we accepted because nothing we could do at that moment. Thank you.
Okay. Uh, there's a viewer here called Kennedy Sankara. Kennedy Sankara is a politician. He's a friend to this media. Thank you, Kennedy, for being part of this media. He's brought in taxation, the
A
issue of
question.
taxation. Yeah. In
Sure.
Kenya, the level of taxation is too high, and this is a threat
Very
to
good.
many youths, especially the youths who want to start or to venture into businesses. What's your take, Mr. Sam? You as a young person who also ventured into business, do you find
Some
it favorable the kind of taxes that we have? Is it favorable? And how do you manage to even get profits? And again, another question for you:
Mhm.
do you think the government has made it easy for the youths or the people of Kenya, as they ensure that the environment is okay for the young people to get into business or to start businesses? And again,
Okay.
there has
Mhm.
been this. There has been the government has been saying that they have ensured that there is money that people can borrow so that they can start businesses. Is it true? Have you tried maybe applying for these loans from the government, or it is just a PR? What is your
Okay.
experience?
My brother, I can tell you the level of taxation is not favorable at all because, for example, you get that to say, let's use a month. In a month time, you get 10,000 profit. You need to pay your workers. You need to pay electricity. You need to pay water. Then the taxation is also here. So at times the government is really failing us. So maybe if our president can come with a strategy that maybe if we open a small business or a new business, it be allowed to thrive for some time, maybe let's say like a year or two without taxation. Actually, we received a notice from the Mabay County government last year around November. They were telling us to pay our county fee within 3 months. Failure to which I think their notification ends in March. So they were telling us failure to which we will face the repercussion. So if you see, if you are threatening a young man like that, do you think this young man can feel motivated? Hmm? I think it is at the administration level where these people are rogue. They don't have a professional language because I don't know how to describe them. They are very, very, very filthy people. That is how I can use to describe them. Then on the funds, the funds it is not easy to access because I've never tried any fund from the government. So I can't say much, but what I know, even if you go to the bank, the lowest bank now gives loan at I think 13%. So not even 13, it's 15. So if you are given 100,000 at a rate of 15,000 or 15%, that means that you will return this loan with a very big profit. So you will end up inakufinya sana hapa kwa business. So it is not an easy task. So I'll appeal to the government so that they can review their policies to make the environment where business is conducted to be a bit friendly. Thank you.
It's Mr. Meguda, do you think the national government and the county governments are giving the youths or the young people in business an environment to showcase their skills in business and their prowess? Uh, because there are so many youths who have been inventing so many things, and once a youth invents something, there are so many of them who have been complaining that the government is not supporting them in one way or another. Whenever they do an invention, there's no any support so that they can proceed and ensure that their invention is they widen or they get into large scale production of the things that they've invented. Do you think the government is supporting youth so that they can prosper in business, especially when it comes to showcasing their prowess in the sector where they are all interested in?
Uh, I do not think the government is helping the youth to venture their business, but at some point also the government is trying. Because this issue of KEOP, I don't know if you understand it,
Okay,
KEOP. There are
Yeah.
some of my
Okay,
friends who have received. There are some of my friends who have received. I don't know. That is in cooperation with the government of Kenya, even if it's not the government of Kenya, but it's the government of Kenya which has allowed it to operate in the country. So I think the some of my friends have received some loan there. I think they have some new innovation and innovation. And again, the county government and the national government in the coordination have provided environment for youth to venture into business and also to be creative, innovative, so that they can realize their potential fully. That room is there. The only thing which is not there is support, but to some extent it is. What I could answer concerning Kennedy Sankara comment is that it is true that the taxation is very high and really affects young people. And I could advise the government that they need to increase labor. If you introduce labor in the country, you create revenue. So, but the moment you are getting revenue, you don't need to place high taxes to the people. Even if you read the book of Adam Smith, Wealth of Nation, the way some countries went to recession, the way some country when they were lagging behind in debts, the way they came up to now. Countries like Peru, maybe Japan. So there was that introduction of labor. Like for example, this issue of affordable housing is to some extent it has introduced labor to the people. So the moment you introduce labor into the country, you create revenue, generate revenue. But this issue of high taxation without increasing labor, I think that's where the government is getting it wrong. Yeah, that's my take.
Okay, thank you. We are almost winding up. Mr. Sam, what's your advice to youths, to the youth who want to get into business? And being that majority of the youths, they are not in a position of getting capital, and it is also true in Kenya that even getting the capital that the government says, it's not easy. The process is long, and even if you go through all that process, there is no surety that you'll get the money so that you can start a business. What would you advise them? You, at least you are employed, and maybe you can be given some loans by the banks, banking facilities. What about a typical Kenyan youth who just maybe gets out of high school and they have no other thing to do. They don't have any opportunity, any money to start the business. What advice would you give to them? Because there's so many who have interest of getting into the business, but the environment and the situation and the circumstances doesn't allow them.
I'll tell a young man or a young lady that is watching us today, a society, a society is not they, a society is not them, a society is me and you. A society is constructed by people who have common beliefs, common mind, and common goal to achieve. Let's say I want to give you a very easy tip on how you can create funds, you can marshal funds, and you channel it to a very fruitful project. This can only be done when you pool your resources together. And by pooling your resources together, you will realize very more funds. And this can be done by one, starting what we call a village circles, chamas. And these chamas, maybe you get 10 people, in a chama, then you register your chama, you contribute maybe 300. Registration, I think, it is below 1,000. Registering circles in Kenya, it is below 1,000, though I'm not sure how much it runs today. So you contribute that 1,000, you register a chama. Then after registering a chama, this money you will be collecting 300, let's say, per week or per per month, which suits you. So In the process, you can go to the Chama offices when you have the group registration things, the particulars. First, you need the KRA pin for each and every member, passport sized photos. Sorry for not telling you that. You go with it to these loaning societies. They can give you money. You marshal politicians. You go to politicians, leaders, businessmen, uh, societal leaders. You tell them, I'm here. We have this group. We were planning to buy a motorbike. Could you kindly come and help us raise funds? And then atakuuliza, how much do you have? Then you say, we have contributed in our pocket. We have 20,000, and maybe this motorbike goes for 30,000. We only need 10,000 from you so that we can get the motorbike. So this man will tell you, okay, let me invite my friend. So they come to you and they donate money. So in the process, you will realize that in your bank account, first it must be a joint bank account for both of you, the members. It must be a joint bank account. That group must have officials. So you will get that you've started now loaning one another. You see, you loan one another, and huyu mtu akiloniwa 2000 anapewa specific period, and there are forms to fill to achieve that, so that it will avoid misquandering of resources. We started this, and I know I was the auditor general. My brother Elon Miguda knows little Mwangaza. I started it, but I later resigned because I could not run the program due to job demands. But that is a very, very easy and a direct way of getting resources. Maybe kama hiyo chama yenu, you go and buy what? And lease a land. Hiyo land mna plant mahindi ama watermelon. Something like watermelon, you can realize up to 400,000 in an acre in just around 100 days. Maize, you get maize. You get you store it for some time so that it can price can go high. You sell, then you get the funds. It's something very easy. So if you really know what you want, you will go far in this life. That is what I'll tell you. You don't wait to be given. There was a teacher, my high school teacher, called Mr. Jojo Wen. This teacher is the man behind my leadership. This man, I was a class rep in Form 1, and he made me class rep. He told me when I was defeated, Sam, he used to tell me, tell Oikao, you don't wait to be given. So he would force me to go and get that thing. So this was a very driving motive for my high school and college politics. So that is how I ended up in a political field. So the story is short. Have something that drives you. You want to be like who and who.
Okay.
Nobody will give you resources. It is
Okay.
upon you to create that resource. Yes, remember Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see. Thank you.
Okay, very well, very well. Thank you. I'll give you 1 minute both. Your closing remarks, and when you'll be closing, my last question would be: what's the space of a youth or youths in the economic, social, and political space? 1 minute each. Immediately after your comment, you give us your closing remarks, and that would be the end of the show. Kindly.
Okay, let me begin. I will not like to talk about social and economic because we have dwelt so much in economic and social in the previous conversation. So in the political space, I believe whatever some have said, youths, no one will. We have been promised from time memorial that youth, the future is tomorrow. At youth, your time is tomorrow, but tomorrow is not forthcoming. Tomorrow is not there. So it's up to us, youth. You wake up, you walk, and you go into that table to negotiate. If you cannot negotiate that table, take that table. famous Kuru Babu Owino. If you can't negotiate in that table, you go and take that table. So youths, you have no choice. If you want to join politics, go negotiate with those big wigs in that table. If you cannot negotiate, take that table. You have that energy, take that table.
Okay. Sam, your last remarks?
Okay. On my side, on that political space, economic and social, I'll say that as a youth keep rising, youths are the
and
driving
also
force
to
of
Sajubra,
each,
Conservative TV.
each.
Thank you, Brother Benson Media. See you next time.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yes,
Hello?
Sam, it is your turn now. It is your turn.
Okay. As youths, I want to tell youth that every economy, a driving wheel is always a youth. Yesterday, I was telling my friend Dege Okumu Sirikal that you are not a leader to be, you are a leader today. So you must showcase your skills, your vast experience, and your energy must always be fully channeled to whatever you want. If it is business, go for it. If it is agriculture, go for it. If it is politics, go for it. Thank you very much, Benzo Media. It was a nice show. I thank everyone who joined us, and may God bless you abundantly. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Let me take this opportunity to thank the following people: Judith Karuitha, Dede Zemekia, Kennedy Sankara, Quantity Surveying YouTube, Tilen, and all those people who are watching us. We are very much grateful, and we are always here. We will always be hosting different guests. We'll always be discussing different issues affecting the people of Kenya in one way or another. And I'm also taking this opportunity to tell our viewers, to tell a friend, we welcome you all to subscribe and be part of Brother Benson. Thank you so much. Your host was one Kevin Makobura. Until tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.
See you.